guys, today's video is a part 2. Although I didn't title it part 1 and part 2, I think I might just put part 2 on this title, and it's how to handle your SP in the 3D. And this is specifically, this isn't about, oh, you know, don't follow them on Instagram. This is like you're having actual contact. So the first video was also based somewhat on direct contact with them, but this is going to be literally about spending time with them. So most probably it's whilst your SP is already conforming in the 3D, or if you happen to see them and it's a partial manifestation, a bird before land, in some way you have seen them face to face in public, like in real life, you're looking at them, you're spending time with them, and these are going to be examples of what to do, how to handle it. If it's going well, these are the things to keep in mind, and if it's not going well, do these things. So please do thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoy this content. If you'd like more SP content, I can absolutely keep going. It seems to be the most popular topic on my channel this entire year. So yeah, please do subscribe because I've reached over 3,000 subscribers and it's amazing and we're constantly growing. So I appreciate you guys, and do join in, and yeah, you can keep track with all my videos. I also offer one-on-one coaching, and this is going to be personalized help if you're struggling with a manifestation or you have questions. I have all the information of what I offer in my coaching on my Instagram, linked below, LOA Coaching, and it's saved in my highlights, and you can just reach out to me, and you have my email address there, so do take a look if you're interested. Now let's get started. So as I said, this video is going to be specifically based on your spending time with your SP, or you're seeing them directly in real life, in the moment, and this is how to handle it. So first point I've noted down here is that if it is something negative, look away. So first thing that came to my mind is you see them with a third party. Anything to do with a third party, or the opposite of you two being in a relationship, you look away, you ignore it, and if you're able to in the moment, revise it. Just immediately, don't just force yourself to not engage. It's about self-discipline and practice and recognizing it and being aware of it and telling yourself, oh, this is something I know that I shouldn't be doing as part of being a conscious manifester. I'm seeing this thing in real life. I don't really like it. I'm going to look the other way, focus elsewhere, talk to a friend, text on your phone, watch a funny video on your phone, do anything to distract yourself. Do not engage with it. Do not get into that victim state and punish yourself by continuing to look at something with your SP that you don't like. So revise it in your mind if you're able to, you know, just tell yourself, oh, SP's standing alone right now and he's thinking about me and how much he loves me, if he's there with a third party, for example, or she. And what else? Like anything you don't like, if you want your SP to come up to you and all you do is smile at each other, maybe across the street, across a room, and they haven't come to approach you yet, revise it. SP waved at me, smiled at me, and I could see how much he loved me and he's coming over right now. Revise it, create whatever story you want. Just do not engage with the negative experience that you've just seen. The faster you start doing this, the less ingrained that will become in your conscious and subconscious mind. So anything negative, you want to try and get rid of it ASAP. Next point is just something to keep in mind. It's not really about manifestation practice, but be calm and confident. Get into that state, because in retrospect, you will look back on these type of experiences and think, why was I worried? Why was I so nervous? Why was I letting myself feel anxiety? These are the things I've asked myself. Like, there was nothing to worry about. Nothing bad actually happened. Everything's working out. Everything can change. So be happy in the moment. Be calm. Be relaxed. Take some deep breaths. Remind yourself you're the creator. If you don't like something, you can revise it. You can change the past. You can change the present. You know, you're in control. So be as calm and confident as you can, you know, stand up straight, remind yourself of who you are, and just try and enjoy the moment and be present and relaxed, because it's not going to benefit you or your relationship with your SP if you're nervous and anxious and spiraling. Another point, if you have some time to yourself, so I'm not giving specific scenarios because there's literally a zillion, million, trillion, whatever, different type of scenarios you could be experiencing. It could be a party, bumping into each other on the streets, seeing them at your university, your workplace. It could be anything. A mutual friend of a friend happened to invite them out as well. Whatever it may be, I don't want to like hone in on anything too specific, but essentially, if you are able to take some, you know, a few moments, a few minutes, go to a bathroom, go sit somewhere on your own, walk out into a, you know, corridor where you're alone, take a few moments to do some self-concept rampaging. So obviously if you're in the middle of a room or a work meeting or whatever it may be, and you know, a situation where you can't really just walk out or, you know, take the time to yourself, but if you can, you try and do self-concept work, because that's what, like I said, what's going to help you feel calm and confident, and that's a state you want to be in for your own benefit. So that you can enjoy it, you can be present, you can feel more in control. So yeah, even just setting a timer on your phone for 1 minute, just take a 1 minute break, excuse yourself or whatever you're able to do, and just, yeah, set the 1 minute timer and start going, I'm perfect, everyone loves me, oh my gosh, I have everything I've ever wanted, I'm so confident, I'm so beautiful and sexy, everyone adores me, I am magnetic. Whatever your affirmations are, or whatever you can say that will help you get in that state, do it. Just take a few moments and do that, bring yourself back into the zone, and yeah, that will also help you stop spiraling a little bit if you are seeing something negative. So now when it comes to a specific conversation with your SP or communicating with them, whatever the case may be, it may literally be they've asked you out on a date. So it doesn't just have to be the beginning of your journey where you're just starting to see a little bit of the conforming happen. It could be that they're already on their way and they are literally, you know, already texting you a lot. They've asked you out on a date, you're on this date, for example, and you know, you don't have to force yourself to talk about certain things. Don't feel like, oh, I need the validation, I need to know, is the third party gone? Maybe I should say this, maybe I should say that. No, if you have to question it like that, it's not a natural decision that you should be making. So try and just speak naturally, from inspired action, from the heart, whatever comes to mind naturally. You want a really free-flowing, enjoyable conversation, and you never have to force it, trust me. Even if you're sitting in silence for a couple minutes, that's okay. It's like, you don't need to force it, and that's essentially forcing the 3D. So don't try and think you have to ask them certain things, that you have to bring up certain things. You don't. If it needs to be discussed or it's part of the unfolding journey, guess what? It will come up naturally, or your SP will literally say it to you at some point, but you never need to try and force it. So don't feel that you have to say something, especially if it's linked to a topic like the third party, or them blocking you, or them breaking up with you. Don't bring those things up unless you really feel like, I just want to say this, I'm going to say this now. You know, if I don't say it, it's going to play on my mind. That is okay, and again, you're free to do whatever you want. But my advice is, if you're trying to hear something from your SP and you're in this desperate state of unknowing and you're not able to accept that something bad happened in the 3D, and you're not able to revise it and take that into your own control, your own power, do not ask them, because you're probably going to feel disappointed, potentially spiral. There's just no need. Try and keep the conversation as light and fun as you can, and as normal as you can, however you'd normally talk to each other, without feeling like you have to say something. If it's coming from a negative or desperate state, then don't say it. But if it's natural and you do want to discuss the bad things that happened, you want to talk about the time you were apart, you can do that. Just make sure it's coming from a really genuine place for yourself. Another point, and this is again up to you if you think it applies, if you think, you know, if it's your first conversation after being in no contact for a while, or if this just resonates with you and sounds like something that you could use in your communication with your SP, I would consider being very polite and vague. So it depends again on the context, where you're seeing them, when you're speaking to them, all of these things. But one example could be to just be very polite and kind, you know, smile at them, treat them nicely. There's no need to, you know, shout at them, start an argument, or say, you know, you blocked me, I don't want to talk to you, go away. I was going to say something much ruder, but you know, you get the gist. Like, you don't have to do that. It's probably just better for you in the relationship and not having to have doubts or regrets or worries later if you just are polite and vague. You know, you don't have to get into a deep conversation. You can keep it quite light and surface level to start with, and just see how the conversation goes. Let them take the lead, which is my next point as well. But it's totally okay to just be very polite and kind and you know, just talk about general life things. Essentially, you want to stop yourself from spiraling or engaging with anything negative. So these are just methods that you can use. You don't have to do this. You can say anything you want, because like I said, you can use the revision method. If it goes badly, if it goes askew and completely derails and just becomes a complete shit show, you can absolutely revise and change it and ignore it and affirm. But sometimes it's better just to start from a really safe point. So as I've kind of already touched upon, let them take the lead. Let your SP take the lead. Even if you're usually the one who, you know, let's say if it's male-female relationship, typically the man in the relationship is more dominant, maybe will take the lead, will plan dates, that sort of thing typically happens. Even if that's your dynamic in your relationship, when it comes to your SP conforming, it's better to let them take the lead, let them initiate. Unless you have inspired action, just want to make it clear that I'm not telling you to never do anything. But generally speaking, if you're having one of your first interactions or dates or whatever with your SP, try and let them take the lead. Don't feel like you have to say things, you have to make sure things are positive. You know, you want to bring up your relationship and this and all these memories and stuff. Don't do that coming from a place where you have an ulterior motive, where you're trying to get something specific. Just see how it plays out. Let them take the lead, because you might end up being really pleasantly surprised with how positive it turns out. And the key is just not to try and force action. If you're trying to search for a really specific outcome, or hear them say something really specific, there's a really good chance you will be disappointed, because if you're trying to do that, you're not from the full end state. You haven't fully accepted and, you know, told yourself and got into that mindset of they're mine, they love me, I know it for a fact. You're not coming from that factual place of truth in your 3D reality yet. You're still having some doubts and questions if you're thinking that you have to do something, if that makes sense. So the point is that you just never want to force the action. Final point that I want to mention is that whatever action you're going to take, whatever you want to say to them, however things are going, and if you're going to plan stuff out in advance, you know, maybe I'm going to say this to them and then hopefully this happens. Do what is best for you. Follow your intuition, follow your instincts, and that's why I said do a self-concept rampage or work on your self-concept, because it'll bring you back into that zone of being the one in control. You have all the power, you feel confident, you know things will work out, you know the power is in your hands, so no matter what happens, it can and will work out for you. So do what's best for you. If you are uncomfortable in a situation, end the conversation, switch, you know, gears, move it into something else, move to a different environment, whatever it is that you don't like, change it. Do what's best for you. You're totally entitled to that. So yeah, do try and put yourself first where you can when engaging with your SP. And again, that will help you feel more in control and prevent repeating the negative cycles of the past, because oftentimes we're coming from a really insecure place, a negative, low self-esteem, a low self-esteem type of place, and that's usually what all the issues with RSP stems from, and also on their part as well. But yeah, try and put yourself first where you can, do what feels right for you, and everything will work out. Just try and take my advice, pick and choose whichever bits of advice I've given that you think would work best for you, and just keep it in mind maybe when you're engaging with your SP. And yeah, do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed this, if you'd like to see more of these type of videos, and hopefully it was useful, and I'll see you next time.